All right, so welcome guys to another podcast of Upstate Sports Corner. I'm Jack and that's Tommy, and today we are joined by two special guests from the boys of 161st Street, Luke and Damin. Guys, how you doing?
Doing pretty well. Doing well for considering everything. We're doing all right and hanging in there.
Yeah, well, good to hear.
Getting by, just doing a little bit, just talking anything Yankees we possibly can, because there's obviously nothing fucking going on right now. But
Exactly, we get that. What are some things that you guys are doing to stay sane through this? Anything fun?
a whole lot of them will be the show. A lot of them will be the show.
All right, love that.
I was gonna say that, and we just started doing this baseball trivia thing every week, and that's been a lot of fun.
Oh,
We've been,
cool.
Live streaming some baseball trivia.
What's the baseball trivia cover? What's the big thing on that?
It's just anything baseball related.
It's just anything.
We've been doing different Jeopardy boards. Each of us make it, we rotate it, and then it's a lot of fun. We do any categories we want. Like last time we did World Baseball Classic was one category. Anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we like
stuff to talk about. So
yeah, we I don't know. In college, we did a lot of just random, especially senior year when we were so tired of everything. We would just stay in and play trivia for 3 hours. So we've been big trivia guys for a long time. So just trying to be creative and just thinking different things to do.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it passes the time for sure.
Still not good at it though.
It fluctuates because I won last time. And game we just played last Monday, I had negative 1,500 or something. So
yeah, we got to Final Jeopardy and he had nothing to wager.
Hey, it's a little inconsistent.
Just my heart and soul.
It's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But Damin, I know me and you were talking before. Kind of, you're in the city.
Yeah.
For our viewers, kind of outline.
Kind of crazy. I've been going back and forth between the Upper East Side, and the Fide area, and they're both. It's weird because down in Fide, as soon as it turns 60 degrees outside, it's like a regular summer day, and that scares the shit out of me. And it's funny because when it rains out, that's when I go out the most, and then when it's sunny, I'm like, I don't know. There seems like a few too many people out here. But yeah, I mean, it's been definitely weird considering the city is just always packed at any time of the day. Yeah, it's just a big adjustment for sure.
Yeah, but Luke, where are you at?
I live in Westchester, New York, but
That's pretty bad too, I bet.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But I mean, everybody's kind of further apart than the city, at least. I actually live in the same next week. I don't know why, but I kind of want to get back to living on my own.
No, I definitely get that. But yeah, no, here in Upstate's not as bad, obviously, but you still got.
What part of Upstate are you guys from?
I'm from Saratoga area.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, our buddy's from Glens Falls.
Yeah, I saw that actually.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking up some stuff about you guys, and I was like, "Oh, Glens Falls, that's right near me." So
yeah.
So all my dad's family, they're from South Glens Falls, actually. So I know the area very well. I'm actually in Central Jersey, right on the shore. But I saw that, I was like, Glens Falls, that's awesome. But
right near the shore. I always say to him, there's not much going on there. But Tommy, you could speak to that. I don't know. I think he lives in a log cabin in the woods. I don't know if it actually looks like that.
No, that's what I get when I'm in, bumfuck New York.
Saratoga's nice though.
Saratoga's a cool place.
With the track and everything during the summer, you're like a lot of people.
Yeah,
that's how Murph keeps trying to get us to go up there. He's like, yo, there's horse racing going on right now. You can go out.
What's that day called? It's that one day in August or something.
Yeah, Travers.
Yeah.
It's
Travers Day.
Other than the big 3 horse races, that's probably the most one of them, but it's huge.
Isn't that where the Barstool guys go?
Yeah, the Barstool guys go all the time.
I always see that.
I think Dave's up there for 2 weeks every summer.
Yeah, whenever there's I I can't imagine what those events are going to be like. Like the first one that opens up, it's gonna that's gonna
Oh,
be
it's
a
definitely not good because
gambling nightmare.
they may cancel the entire racing season, and that's like a huge thing for Saratoga as far as
Yeah.
bringing all that money and stuff.
For sure. I
It's
feel
just
like
like a
it's either
citywide thing.
I feel like it's either going to be so hit or miss. Like it's going to be so chaotic and everyone goes, or like no one's going to go and everyone's just going to stay back. Like I feel like it's going to be chaotic because everyone's just going to want to get out. But like I'm not sure either way. Like it's going to be weird first time.
I'm not going to any of those fucking things. Even if the
no way.
Yankees, I mean, there's no baseball games going to be played in New York. That's for sure. And
Yeah.
even if they do have games, I'm not going to them. Like you can't pay me to go to. I mean, I can just watch it on TV, which still sucks. But
True.
I mean,
Yeah, you gotta give it a little bit of time.
Crowds, yeah, I'm gonna be flaking out a lot of things when
Yanks
we can open back up.
The Yanks win the World Series, though. Are you gonna be down at the parade?
Yeah, I'll wear a hazmat. I'll wear a hazmat.
Yeah.
I think we got it.
That'll be the exception.
Tommy and I were talking. We're gonna miss some school during that. We'll go down for the weekend, but I mean, you never know. I mean, I hope we see some baseball in New York, but as of now,
We're not gonna see baseball in New York.
Yeah,
it's not looking too good right now.
One could hope for sure.
Before we get into the baseball talk, what did you guys think of the draft last night?
I'm an Eagles fan, so that ended up happening because when I was like 4 years old, I liked the color of the jerseys that sue me, but I was 4. And the Giants, I wasn't too, I don't know, my family wasn't really big on football, so I just chose them. And honestly, the wings on the helmets were dope too. And then there was McNabb, Westbrook, all them. So I ended up liking them. So at first with their pick, they got Rager, and I didn't know who he was at first, but then I looked into him. He's like a little bit of a Tyreek Hill type guy. I don't know.
Yeah, he's quick.
He's quick. He ran a 4.22 unofficial in like the virtual pro day I think they had because they couldn't do real pro days. But hey, if that holds up, 4.22 is definitely not slow.
No, not at all.
And I'm a Jet fan. Yeah, it just speaks for itself. But actually funny story. My grandfather, when he was very like newly wedded, he was looking to buy season tickets, and the Giants were sold out that year. So he was like, "Oh yeah, let me just buy some Jet season tickets," and then just cursed my entire family for like generations to come. Yeah, I mean, the Jets for once didn't draft a defensive lineman for the first time in 11 years, so that was nice to see. Yeah, I got an offensive lineman.
You like him?
I mean, we'll see. He's a big boy. That's a big boy. So we'll see how he plays, but he's either that or a wide receiver. So
wasn't that the guy who was like 370 pounds?
6'3", 64, I think.
That's huge. It's a
big man. That's a
once
big
he gets
man.
Once he gets that pro salary too, he'll be eating anything he wants. He's gonna get.
How much do you think he eats like a day?
He's probably on that rock diet.
Yeah, I mean, if you're working out that much too, to keep gaining weight and stay at that weight, you gotta eat like Michael Phelps diet times 1,000,000. Like,
oh my god,
everybody's seen that diet. He's probably eating 7 breakfasts, just anything.
He's quick too. I think he was some record for like the heaviest guy who ran the fastest or some ratio or I don't know what it was, but he's quick.
I think it's scary for these big guys. These big guys, like, it's so scary. They run so much faster than like the average person. Like my friends are always like, oh, I could like beat them out in race, but like you see these guys that like you're like, oh, they're big, they're blockers. A lot of them are so fast and you don't even realize it. Like,
because their legs are they're such big people that they do big strides.
Right. And
you don't notice it.
Exactly. But
like, I don't know. Imagine like I could probably run like a 5'4", not like 40. Yeah. I did one time in my life.
Got one leg now.
Then I broke my leg, but
oh jeez. How did that happen?
We're playing rugby.
Oh jeez, okay.
Yeah.
Don't play rugby.
It was for me and Jack, I think. I mean, Andrew Thomas. I thought he was a good pick.
Yeah, we're Giants fans.
Giants fans.
Yeah. But
I mean, you guys need a line.
Yeah, I know we do.
I mean, we need a lot, but I think a line is a first the first good start for them.
You
Just
guys
to
like
protect-
Daniel Jones?
I'm a big Daniel Jones guy.
Yeah,
I think
I
at
thought-
first everyone, like, when they saw the pick, they're like, who is this guy? Like, we could have traded back for him and all that. But like, I kind of like the mentality of like, once you know and once you find the guy that you like go for it. Why not? And
Yeah.
I mean, as of last year, he turned out, I wouldn't say he had an amazing rookie year, but he had a pretty like put together rookie year. He needs to control that football a little less fumbling. But
Yeah.
I'm a big Jones guy, and especially to get a blocker up there for Barkley is going to help.
I mean,
Prolong his career.
That's more like what I think the pick was for. I mean,
I'm
Mhm.
hoping.
you need
but-
some. I mean, O-line is honestly one of the most important positions in all of football. Like, it's not the sexy pick ever, but when the Eagles took Lane Johnson
Mhm.
overall, like, look at what he's doing right now. He's
Exactly.
one of the best right tackles in all of football.
What they say is
Yeah.
you gotta get the quarterback, you gotta get the guy to protect the quarterback, and the guy to rush him. So I think they're doing a pretty good job with that. I'm hoping. And obviously the draft's the next couple of days, so it'll be interesting to see who the Giants get, and obviously for you guys, the Eagles and the Jets. But kind of just going
whatever.
Yeah. No, it is what it is. We'll see. But kind of going into the next part, what got you guys into podcasting, and especially podcasting about the Yanks?
I mean, we all went to the same school. We went to Quinnipiac in Connecticut, and you probably haven't heard of it. Nobody has, but we were just big Yankees fans, and we go to so many games a year. And now that we live in the city, we are 10 minutes away, so we go to 40 games a year, or try to.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
they have like the stadium ticket deal, the monthly pass. So we just get $100 monthly pass and ended up going to as many games as we can. You just pay $100 for the month, and you have standing room to every game. So you can go to whatever you want, and that's
crazy.
then you sneak around and try and see where you could fit in bleachers or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit of a tangent, but we all go to so many games, such big Yankees fans, and we're like, I mean, we have pretty good fucking takes. Like, why not just press record and people will listen, hopefully? And so we did that, and just fun. So I mean, never feels like work because you're just talking about the Yanks. I mean, it's a great time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it was, from me, Luke is a very spontaneous fellow. And I don't know, I remember like just being put in a group chat, and it was like, hey, we're starting a podcast. I was like, okay, cool. And then, we just kind of ran with it. And it was, yeah, like Luke said, it was just been, just talking like we usually talk in our apartment, but just recording it, and then started to figure shit out. And, we already had, the Photoshop and video design kind of aspect down because we did that previously just for fun. So it was kind of an easy just pick up transition.
Just call me a fellow.
I don't know why. Fucking shut up. Whatever.
It flows.
I mean, Jack, that's kind of like what we did. We were just like in
how'd you guys get
quarantine.
into it?
We were just like in quarantine. We're like, we have group chats all the time about like different takes we have. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, more for. Froze out for a sec. I was gonna say more for us. Like, even this stems back to last year. Like, we lived on the same floor. We're both sophomores in college, so
Cool.
we're big Yankees fans, and it was kind of just like opening day. We're like, oh, why don't we start like talking about them? It was even before. It was like right when we got out of I remember talking about it, and then we're like, why don't we just like talk about the picks? Never really got into it, and then obviously during quarantine we're like, fuck it, like let's just do something. So kind of got this going, and we always, like as Tommy said, we had a group chat going, like just talking about like absurd Yankees things, and like always talking when they're winning. We're like, let's do it. So
Yeah, it's
mean,
definitely a good time to be creative.
Yeah, quarantine is starting so many businesses. It's killing some, but it's also making some stronger. And I mean, right now is the time to be doing anything creative. You have nothing else to do but just think and do shit. So
that's true.
It's the best time to just throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks. And I feel like we've been doing a lot of that.
Yeah, that's my life. So
yeah, one of these had to work out sometime.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
It's a good hobby too. Like, I don't know. It's like instead of playing video games all day, it's like, why don't I just do some in my mind, productive,
Yeah, but it's also fun because, you start just recording and, publishing stuff as a podcast to hope someone listens. And then it kind of transitions into literally anything else you want it to be if you start building up some sort of audience. I know we started just doing podcast stuff, but what really grew like our social media pages and stuff was just posting the lineup for the Yankee game every day. And that was just
we wanted to get just lineups, final scores, just because we know there's news pages out there that grow pretty fast. So we're like, all right. So we did that, and then ended up transitioning it to from half our podcast to just now only our podcast. Just see who
so
stays.
much work.
Who stayed. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, what we do is just another reason why we started is because we talk about them anyway. Like we were in a room, we were having like really good conversation. This is when I said, let's do the podcast. We were like yelling back and forth. It was awesome. People would like to listen to it because I listened to all the other Yankees podcasts, Bronx Pinstripes, Short Porch, and all that. Right. And so we were like, this sounds like a podcast to me. So we're like, why not just press record? And it doesn't really, you're not going out of your way to record stuff because we're going to be doing it anyway. So like, it's not extra work because I'm going to spend my days 5 to 9 ranting about the Yankees and how much they fucking suck. Like that's gonna happen. So I might as well just press record and that's it. So that's
it's like that, and then it's that, and then we started doing once you build an audience up, we started to just do like MLB The Show content and like this trivia content, and like we're doing a bunch of other stuff. But again, it's all shit we already do. It's just now we're just turning a camera on and posting it places. So it's fucking fun.
Yeah, and you were saying like to start off, you would just post like the lineups and then final scores. And how did you guys like? I mean, this may sound like a dumb question, but like, would you just go to like Yankees like the PR page and like see like the lineup that they post, or did you guys have like a lineup that you kind of thought that they would have and like kind of go with that, and then any last minute changes go with that?
Yeah, we just had like a lineup. Like you can usually guess the lineup every day, and then we have a Photoshop document. We just sub the names out and put it in. It was really annoying. I don't recommend doing that because it's just really, you have to be like right when it comes out, and all the other news pages are like, they love doing that, so they just like wait all day for it to come out.
And we would like save a blank template on our phone if we were going to a baseball game or going to the Yankee game or going somewhere else, and we save a blank template and then just with the starting pitcher that we knew was pitching that day, and then we would go on Snapchat and like fill in the lineups and then just post it on Instagram.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's not fun, but
it was very tedious, but it worked.
To kind of shift into our some baseball content.
Go ahead.
What was your guys' favorite memory from last year? Just kind of reflect on that.
I would say definitely the Hicks catch. The Hicks catch was crazy. I remember me and him were watching. I mean, that whole game, we didn't even care because we were watching the first like 3 innings, and then Spider-Man Far From Home came out. So we were like, all right, let's just go. There's a movie theater down the street from our apartment. So we walked over there, caught that, and we're expecting the game to be over by the time we got back. And it so wasn't. It was by the time we got back, that's when Hicks hit that home run because he actually tied the game, like you guys remember. And then he ended up catching it to walk it off, and we came back just to catch that part. So that was sick. But that was definitely my favorite memory.
That was crazy. That was so crazy.
Yeah, that was sick. I think I guess my first one when we went to the AL DS at Yankee Stadium, and it was CC's last game that he pitched, and you could tell his arm was killing him the entire time. And then because we were at the game, we saw what was going on, and the camera was panning in and out on television, so you couldn't see the whole thing. And then when it cut for the pitching change, he stayed on the mound, went back. He knew damn well he was coming out of the game, picked up the ball one more time, and just threw it as hard as he could against the backstop, and then just walked right out the field. Yeah. And that was so sad, but it was so cool to watch, like CC's actual last pitch, even if it wasn't a real game.
I don't know if the TV saw that. I don't know if that was filmed or not. It might have been just us.
I don't remember that because I was watching. I just remember like that was a pretty. It was a freaking awesome moment. I was getting chills just watching, but yeah, I don't think they showed that.
Yeah, dude, his arm was hanging, and he picked it up and gassed one more. Like, he threw it harder than probably ever, and his arm was hanging by a thread. And Gary, like, was sitting there. He probably didn't know he was going to throw it, and he kind of did that thing where Gary gets crossed up all the time. And he just fucking sent one right at him. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That was literally the last pitch.
Yeah. That was so cool.
Thing I love about that is that's like the total CC way to go out. That's just him being like, "Fuck it, I'm done." Like,
wouldn't expect anything else. Literally wouldn't expect. He's the type of guy who has a broken elbow and finishes the inning because he just has that adrenaline and momentum to keep going. Fucking crazy. And then I know this is a unpopular opinion, but the other favorite moment from last year went from the best moment ever to the worst moment ever. And I think we all know what we're talking about, but I don't know. We were at a bar in New Haven, and when May hit that home run, I don't think I've ever been so happy as a Yankee fan before. Am I cut out?
Yeah, you cut out.
A little bit.
We were talking about when we were at the same bar together, and it was when LeMay.
I'm back.
Obviously, and I remember when I was watching it, throughout that game, we just knew, like, slowly, like, you get sadder and sadder because, like, we weren't doing anything, and, like, diminishing happiness. And I was ready to write off the season. Season was gone, and then just jolt my emotions just straight to the top when LeMay hits that home run, and then obviously right back down to pulling the stool out of my closet. Fucking. That was ridiculous. But that moment right there, if we were to put a moment, not like
10 seconds.
Yeah.
For sure.
That moment was, I might put that as number one too.
Yeah. I was going to say, I remember me and Tom, we were watching it, and we had we packed a room. There's probably like 50 kids in watching around like this little TV, and
we were streaming it too, so we were late.
Yeah. We were like a little bit. So it's always funny with those because, like, I remember, like, in the beginning of the season, like, you would always hear, like, delayed, like, you'd hear screams from, like, in the hallway. You'd be like, what is that? And then you would know. And you'd be like, oh, let's go. So, like, that part, like, thankfully that, like, everyone must have been on, like, a stream or something. But when that happened, everyone, like, hopes are so down. And once he hit that, everyone just went nuts. I think I broke a table. Like, I was just so pumped. And then 10 minutes later, we were just like, oh, shit. But, like, I agree with you, total. That was
Rella broke the
it's funny you said
you
that
broke
because,
the music player.
Yeah, no, because literally the second that ball was hit, I had to, like, I put my arms around my friend, but I had to hit something. I was just like, my arms were flailing. So I went like this real quick, and I hit the jukebox. I don't know why that was so.
The touch tunes thing. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it was a touch tunes thing. Whole thing goes black, and I just went the other way, and because the bouncers were running around, they're like, everyone shut up, everyone be quiet. We're like, dude, shut up. Like,
come on.
No one cares.
Yanks, man.
No one cares.
You have no control. You have no control over us right now.
Exactly.
It was just
the thing with us too is that half the kids in there are Sox fans because we both go to Providence, so it's like, you know, deep in New England, so they're all pissed off, and we're the annoying ass Yankee fans that they all just hate, and it's just like, it was crazy. But then obviously, you know, freaking Altuve's got his freaking buzzer.
Yeah, I mean, he cheated.
A Chapman slider's coming, takes it off the left field.
Yeah. We'll talk about that a little more later, but cheaters for sure. Me and Tom, we I think I'll speak for myself. I think my favorite moment from the year, I was at CC's 250th win, and it wasn't really much of a game. They blanked the Rays. It was like 11-1 or something. But just kind of seeing him get that, getting the 250th. He's coming off a couple tough games, and just for him to get that and put his name in the record books was it's pretty cool for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really been to many of those, like, record games. Like,
same with me.
Our friend Kev went to where did he go to? A-Rod's 500th or home run. And he was gonna go to Jeter's 3,000th, but I remember he told me that day I don't know if you guys remember, but that day he needed 4 hits. The day he got it,
yes,
he ended up going 4 for 4,
right,
with the home run at the end. But Kev, he had tickets, and he was like, whatever, I'll go tomorrow. I have tickets tomorrow. He'll get it then. So he didn't go, and he turns the game on, and he gets it. So
Jeter, he's so clutch. He could get those 4 hits in the game.
Yeah, even when
Yeah.
he's old.
The
Yeah,
A-Rod
personally-
500 one's pretty cool, though.
That is really
That
cool.
is sick.
Personally,
I've-
for me
yeah.
though, my favorite, like I mean, obviously there's a ton, but the London series I thought was pretty cool because like the games I
Yeah.
went to last year, they either I don't know why, but every game I go to when it's home, they always lose. Like my record in Yankee Stadium is terrible.
We had the
I think the
Hap
one-
Orioles win.
What?
We had the Hap Orioles win.
We did the one game I went to with Jack. Out of all the games I went to over the last year, they actually won. But no, I didn't go to any
That's
like
good.
super good live ones. But the London series I thought was really cool. They just, I mean, I've never seen a team hit like that. And
Yeah, the one
Yeah,
that's
something was up there. I think that game
Yeah,
was
that was
rigged.
weird.
it might have been
What was
just to
up
give.
though? Because they were saying like the jet stream of shit, like the air was like pushing balls out. Like what? Did they juice the balls?
I
They
don't know.
had to juice the balls. If
They
you're
made
trying to
it.
get, if you're trying to introduce a new sport to a city that's never
a
seen
good
a
point.
rivalry in a baseball game like this, you bet your
That was a football score. But
It
no,
was,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
that
Well, it was
was
6-0
ridiculous.
bottom. It was 6-0 going in the bottom, and I was like,
we were like the game's
was-
over.
it was
We're
ev-
done. We won.
But it was every game.
Tanaka. It was like Tanaka pitch, and I was like, all right, Tanaka, like, it's a little shaky to start, but like he'll get it. And then he lets up 6. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Tanaka is so hit or miss though. Like that's
know.
exactly
Yeah.
an indication of Tanaka's. But if he gives up a home run leadoff, he's fucked for the rest of the game. But if he gets through the first inning clean, he's good.
Yeah.
Like, he's ready to
He
rock
plays
that
to his
thing out.
competition. He
That's why
plays to his
I
competition.
love playoff Tanaka, because it always seems like he's always ready for that big moment. Like,
Yeah,
you
we
always
never-
know what you could get with him.
We always talk about that. We have no idea what changes in his mind. Like, why can't you just do that or something close to it every day? Like, why can't you just be
Yeah.
consistent? But
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
like a drastic
I'll
difference.
take it though. I'll take it. Like,
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
to be honest, like he doesn't need to be perfect during the regular season. Like postseasons don't really need him anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me flip a question for you guys. So
Let's hear it.
while we're on the topic for Tanaka, I know this isn't my podcast, but if obviously if the season doesn't happen, free agents, they end up being free agents. I think I'm gonna ask, would you rather have Tanaka or Paxton, because they're both free agents?
It's funny that you say that, because I was literally gonna ask, would you keep Tanaka? But
So,
I
yeah,
think you have to go Tanaka and let Paxton walks, because I feel like you could get Tanaka for a little cheaper than Paxton would go, and he's just been around so much longer. We know what he has for the most part, and Paxton's kind of been injury riddled. As I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher. I love him. I think if we do play this season, he's going to be a big part. But I think you got to keep
Mhm.
Tanaka.
I think Paxton's upside though is crazy. Like if he's on, he's like one of the best pitchers in the MLB. I think. Like
Yeah.
he's throwing not like 98 high in the zone. Like he's got that nasty slider.
Yeah,
But I
he's
don't know.
the back of down the stretch, Paxton, when he came back and he just started
He
dealing.
just started pumping balls in there. Dude. It was
Like,
crazy.
that kind of Paxton is gross. Like that's the Paxton we
Yeah.
wanted, but then he gets hurt and always gets hurt. So
For sure.
I would
Yeah.
I would take Tanaka for sure.
Yeah. Tanaka's going to be the best pitcher for the amount of money you're going to pay because, again, Paxton's a Scott Boras guy, so he's going to be getting a lot more money than Tanaka.
That's why I love
Um,
Scott Boras. So don't get me wrong, like all the players that he has in his role is like very good, but he gets so much more money for like what they realistically should be.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a luxury brand. It's like slap a Supreme logo on it and it
Yeah, right.
costs more money.
Yeah.
I kind of
but-
would hate Scott Boras for that though. He's freaking ripping
Yeah.
off. Like, dude, we
Yeah.
paid.
He's a
we
baller
paid-
though.
I love this. I love Cole, obviously, but dude, we gave him so much money. Like,
Yeah, I was talking about that with us on our podcast, and I was thinking I don't like contracts like that, no matter what it is. Obviously, we need Cole, so the way those contracts work with 8 years, it's like an A-Rod type contract. All of them end up being shitty towards the end, but you just got to bite the bullet to get 4 good years, to get 3 bad years or 4 bad years at the back end. But
Yeah,
The craziest
kind
contract.
of sucks that we might not have it for the first good year, so it might
I
just
know.
take one of those away from us. I don't know.
The craziest contract that I saw was in recent memory was that Albert Pujols contract when he signed for 10 years
Angels?
and he was already out of his prime.
It was
Like,
gross.
that
when
was
I
dumb.
when I saw that, I was like,
How many
"What
years
the
left does he have?
fuck?" It was he has 2 more years left.
It seems like it was just for the name, like to get Pujols on the team.
Dude's making $29 million a year.
Good
And
for-
he signed that
for
10
him.
years ago. How old is this guy?
Oh, he has to be like 38.
Yeah, I was gonna say when he signed it, he was probably like, I don't know, early 30s.
Yeah, he cannot be young. It's crazy. Like you see,
I remember seeing that and just being, he's 40 years old. So he signed that contract.
40. Holy
He had a .5 WAR last year. That sucks.
Yeah, he signed that contract when he was probably 33, 32 years old.
Oh my God.
Like, which, you
Dude.
know, it's fine if you have an amazing season, but his season when he signed that contract wasn't amazing. He just went to the Angels because he thought they could help Trout get to the playoffs, and
Yeah.
look how that worked out.
So winners
Now
from
they have
this,
no money.
Winners from this, Pujols, loser, Angels. Jeez, that's crazy.
The Angels still in the pitching.
Remember how hyped up the Angels were too, and they just absolutely sucked. Because they
Yeah.
make another signing that year too, some big one.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. It was the pitcher, right?
Yeah. Oh, Dan Herron, I think.
Was it Dan Herron?
It might have been. I don't know.
I'm thinking of somebody else. Some
It
guy with
might have
long
been.
hair.
I don't know, but they were just so hyped up in the beginning of the year, and they just were terrible.
Yeah.
How do you guys like the Rendon move?
I don't know. He's not a pitcher, so.
Yeah. They still can't pitch the ball.
I saw a bunch of tweets during that time. It was like, now Angels repeat after me. Rendon doesn't pitch. No pitchers. So I don't know. I mean, he's definitely good. Honestly, I don't think he's as good as everybody thinks he is. I don't
agree
know.
with that.
He just had
I
a
don't think
really good year. But
Yeah. I think he's coming off the World Series win. He had a good year. I don't think he's I don't think he's worth the money for sure. And again, it doesn't fit the team whatsoever.
I mean,
Yeah,
he fits the team. He's a good player, but they gave him too much money, and it's not what they needed.
Yeah, too much money for a player that's not that needed in the team.
yeah, I agree. I think Rendon, wherever he was gonna go, was most likely gonna get his max. So I think you had to bite the bullet for that one, but
Yeah.
I kind of agree. I don't know if the Angels I don't know if he was the best for the Angels at that time, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Again, really good player.
Yeah.
I think it was a great move. It was a great move for him because he's coming
for
off
sure.
the best year he's going to have ever. Sign a
gonna play with
contract, and now
The
he's
best in
chilling.
baseball.
Yeah,
he
and
was
now
a
he's chilling
product.
in LA.
He was a product of being the best on the market. That's why he got so much money.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. And good for him.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, he's in California playing baseball and got a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of going with what Tommy was talking about like your favorite part of last year's team. What's a hot take that you have with this year regarding the Yankees and let's say the rest of the MLB?
If we have a season.
Yeah, if we have a season.
Hot take. Honestly, if we're playing a short season, we might see a lot more players have a shot at MVP because you don't have to do it for a whole season. So
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
gonna go steaming hot take right now. Masahiro Tanaka, Cy Young.
Let's go. I love that.
Because hear me out. It's actually not that crazy if you think about it. If he puts together some playoff Tanaka stats, I mean that's no doubt. He's Cy Young, no problem. And if it's only like Robin Turner, I don't know if we still have like the accolades like that. They give it away, but if they do, I think Tanaka has a chance.
I love that. I love that hot take.
I think that going like a pitcher on the Yankees winning the Cy Young, I think a breakout pitcher is definitely going to happen for sure.
I forgot we have Cole.
What?
I forgot we have Cole. I just remembered for a second.
Yeah, right.
I
I was going to say the same if it was.
Tanaka.
Yeah, it's funny because I think on a previous podcast when we had that same question, I said Paxton was going to win the Cy Young, and that was my hot take.
I like that.
I don't
One
think
thing
I
that
still
worries-
stand by that, but
One thing that worries me about Cole though is that you know how like in Houston like all the pitchers just become like a little bit better. Like
Yeah.
Verlander got better. I mean Verlander in the Tigers before he went there was getting shelled, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Not shelled, but
Yeah.
like he wasn't like he was.
Maybe they put
Verlander's had
Yeah,
two careers. I don't know how he's pitching
it's crazy.
still, and
Well,
everyone's
it
Like
might be.
fine wine.
It might be
Yeah.
because they have a little pine tar. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you
My-
think they'd
my-
catch that though, because like I mean, I feel like
They
every
weren't
other
looking
pitcher
into
gets
it.
caught for it.
Yeah.
They weren't
Hey,
looking into it though.
my Verlander thing through all of this is he's a very vocal guy as of previous, and now he's the most quiet guy in that locker room now.
Yeah, he doesn't say
He has
shit. No.
he has some things to respond to.
Yeah, him
But,
and Bregman, I fucking hate.
I hate Bregman. I hate
yeah.
it.
I hate their entire team.
It's
And
cocky.
it was before they cheated. I hated
But
their
at least Correa was like, yeah, we left up, but like Bregman just doesn't say anything, and he was the most vocal guy, being like, oh, we're the best team like ever. It was
Well, Correa went from handling the situation so well to just completely shitting the bed.
Doing it horribly. He told her
Shut up after that
fucking
first interview, he would have been
Yeah.
fine. And that second interview came, and oh my god, that was the worst thing he could have done.
I know.
Oh my
So
God.
kind of going into talking about the Astros, what we recently heard this week about the Red Sox verdict. We heard what's happening with Cora. So kind of in general, give us a little opinion on what the Astros are going to face. Do you like Manfred's ruling on them, and also the Red Sox? What do you think it was a just fit for them too? I think I'm going to know your guys' answers, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the Red Sox at least, the Red Sox, I don't really think they cheated. I don't. It's not nearly in the same ballpark as what the Astros.
They didn't win a World Series.
Huh?
They didn't win the World Series.
I don't even care about that. Yeah, they didn't win the World Series either, but they were still a good team during that time. I mean, I don't think they cheated at all, honestly. And I think the report said that. I mean, it said Cora was caught and he's suspended for his time with the Astros, not with the Red Sox. So I don't think we should just go around pointing fingers at everybody now, because then you do that, you throw stones while you live in a glass house, we're going to start getting people, because everybody fucking did what they did. They just didn't get caught.
That's what I think too.
Right.
I think.
Yep.
I mean, it happens on every team, just like obviously the Astros one's just like.
Yeah, we definitely did
away.
something similar to what the Red Sox did.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
It's like the steroid era. Everyone fucking did steroids. It was just the people that got caught that were made examples of.
Right,
Yeah,
and
honestly,
I was gonna say we were talking. We talked with Hubs earlier this week, and he kind of made that point. Like everyone in the steroid era, like got caught for what they did. I think what's worse about this is that we didn't know what was coming from them. Like we didn't know what to expect. Whereas in like steroid era, like you knew like at least one person on every team like probably did it, but like. That's what gets me the most rattled about this is we had no, like everyone knew something was up, right? But they didn't know what was up. So to find that out was just crazy for me and just made me pissed.
Okay, yeah. I think to Rella's point, I think we beat a dead horse with this whole thing. And once the Red Sox verdict came out, I was just like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. The season's not looking like it's gonna happen. The punishment was weak, but again, there wasn't the video evidence and proof of them cheating like the Astros did. And again, I think the fact that it came so late and after we talked about it for months and months, I was just like, I'm so fucking over this. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm actually pissed off about with the Astros is the biggest punishment, and even Manfred said this. He said, I think the most like strict punishment is the public shaming and all that. And now they don't even get that.
I know.
That's what I'm most pissed off about, because they got the $5 million, whatever. Now the only punishment they have is $5 million, because if there's no year to play games this year, then everybody has a suspension. And if they serve the same, like Domingo will end up not having any suspension whatsoever if the year doesn't happen. So they're all going to end up serving their suspensions. Like all the suspensions count if the year doesn't happen, which makes no sense, because then you're putting guys like Aaron Judge is also technically suspended a year, and he didn't cheat. That's what pisses me off. I don't know.
I think with that though, I think it's almost good for Judge, just because it doesn't put pressure on him to get back so quick. 'Cause I feel like he was getting like absolutely just shit on for how he like handled his whole injury thing. And like personally, he's like, I think his upside's crazy, and I think he could be like a next Jeter type figure. But like I think it's kind of good for him.
Yeah, it's definitely good for that. I just don't like that he is basically getting the same punishment as like Bregman, because they
I totally get it. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And the Astros, it's a good point because the public shame was going to be what really killed them.
Crazy.
Because a 1 year suspension, like whatever. But the fact is that once they're suspended and they come back, they still have to look for work. They still have to gain their respect again if that ever is going to happen. And I think that the rebuttal between that and the amount of shame from the actual MLB players was a big difference. That's my big difference between this and a steroid scandal.
Right.
Because
I completely agree.
Because when the steroids happened, they were like, yeah, it's fucking steroids. Everyone's doing it. There was no player pushback. But when the cheating happened, that's when you saw players start to speak out. And that's when I was like, fuck, like this actually is serious because I'm listening to people who are actually directly being affected by it.
Yeah.
And all the players knew too. When they went to Houston that year, all the players were like, there's something up there. Like there's gotta be something up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that if the season doesn't happen this year, do you think that anyone will still get thrown at next year? If it happens, like let's say the 2021 season's the next time we have baseball, do you think people will still be pissed like that? Or you think it's been too long, it'll blow over? I'm nervous that it will blow over and it's just like they get off scot-free.
I don't think so because I think because of the Bowers of the world leading the charge and hating the Astros.
Yeah, he'll never forget.
Because he won't forget it, and he's gonna keep bringing it up. And I cannot wait for the opening day to happen, and then Bauer tweeting out, "Guys, don't forget, let's fucking pick these guys."
Yeah. So I was gonna say, like, going with what Damin was saying, it depends on what people remember and what people keep up. Because if we're like, all right, like that was the year for it, whatever, and we don't keep it up, then like it's not really gonna matter. But also, it's gonna depend on the players too. Like if you see players still talking about this next year going into the next season, you see pitchers throwing at them, like I would not be surprised if this goes for next year and even deep into it. Like I could totally see that happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
And
the rest of their career.
Yeah. And my last point with all this is, one, I think taking away draft picks is fucking the stupidest thing ever. I mean, you can take them away, but the degree of impact that a draft pick has in baseball compared to other sports is a fraction. Like they're not taking away the first round draft pick in the NBA.
I know. I was gonna say I think we had more draft picks taken. I could be wrong. I think we had more draft picks or like more money taken away from us from signing Garrett Cole than the Astros had from all of this cheating. Something
really that's
crazy
crazy
number. And like
that's crazy.
we're getting more punished for this than that. So
yeah, it's
wild. Look that
draft
up.
picks don't.
All the good players get signed with that when they're 16 years old anyway. I mean, Gary Sanchez is a product of that. Jason Dominguez is probably going to be the absolute stud.
Me too.
Yeah.
He got signed with that. Like,
yeah. If you want to get Jason Dominguez's attention, just post avocados.
Yeah, good to know.
He reposted our thing on his story because we just put like
a bunch of avocados.
I think we just put avocado emojis and he just put it on his story. It's like
that's great.
Yeah.
We love that.
Like every Instagram post we have that mentions Dominguez, like I just comment a bunch of avocados and add him, and then he likes it. I'm like, yeah, he saw
it's
it.
amazing.
Just say like, yo, Jason, and just add the avocado like it's a period at the end. And
Yeah. He'd be like, oh yeah.
I was gonna say, we know how to get him on the podcast next.
Yeah,
but,
on Twitter.
Just send him some avocados.
Yeah, but from all this, I'm gonna wrap it up too, just because I'm so sick and tired of the Astros. But for me, the most part, like I'm not even mad. Like it would be nice to have their 2017 title vacated, but like I'm not expecting that, obviously. And the thing that kind of gets me the most heated, I think Judge had a better 2017 season than him, and it showed like in a lot of things. But I'm not a big fan of everyone saying, "Oh, strip Altuve's MVP season away." Like it is what it is. Like he earned it. Like he did well. But
I'm a fan of that.
It's like that you keep on beating the dead horse. It's like just quit it while you can. Like there.
Yeah.
So
you can't strip. I mean, you can, but what does it really do? You can't give
exactly.
Judge. You can't give Judge the MVP because then everyone's gonna say, "Oh, it's an Astros. He doesn't earn it." You're not gonna give other people the World Series.
No.
You're not gonna give the Dodgers the World Series.
I disagree though, because I think you can absolutely take it away. And I know Tom feels the same way because I see the way he's looking right now. Because like I get you can't give it away, but you sure as fuck can take it away from them.
I'm saying you can take it, but giving it like rewarding other teams or other players for it, you can't do.
I think you could take it. I think you could take it away, but I agree. You can't reward it to another team. Like this season, whatever happens, like if we have a season, my fear is like we're there. Like say the Yankees win, right? And everyone's gonna be like, oh well, like it wasn't a real season, whatever. Like it's still, you still got it in a way. So I mean, you can take it. Like if you're a fan, you could take it away, but I do agree that like they got it. So like. This may be an unpopular opinion, but like the Astros did, like cheating or not, they did get it in 2017. So like it's hard to take it. You can I don't know if I'm just sounding crazy, but like there's a difference between vacating and taking it away. I don't know, but
I think you can put an asterisk and you can remember it, and that's all you can really do. Because again, I think
for sure.
The same thing with how they're going to be treated. The public pushback is going to be far worse than the actual hardware of it.
Yeah, but just take it away too.
They should have. I think they should have just taken it just to say fuck it and taken it. And then that's
an example. Don't do it.
It's way too late.
Yeah, the LTK thing too. I mean, I definitely should be stripped. Like, obviously, you can't give it the judge. But I mean, we talked about this with Hubs the other day. What Bellinger said. He literally even shouted out Judge. He's like, the year Judge had and like the home road splits were just like dumb.
Yeah. But I mean, even think about. Go ahead. Finish. No, finish what you're saying.
But even in the in our playoff series against them, like the home team won every game. Although we should have won game 2, but I mean,
yeah.
That's
but like, think about that. Think about that on a larger scale, though. And this is the last thing I'm saying about this. I swear. Think about this on a larger scale. Yeah, we're done with this. Judge didn't win MVP, but he's still fucking Aaron Judge. Yeah. Right. Think about a minor league player who's going to come on the mound for the first time, making his debut at home at the Astros. He throws a curveball. There's a bang. Gives up 3 home runs and then gets sent down, and his career is over.
Yeah,
that's Mike the most for those players.
Yeah, and Mike Clevenger talked about that a lot on like 11 different podcasts.
Yeah,
it up, and that to me speaks a lot more, and I think people don't talk about that enough.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's a guy. Isn't he taking some lawsuit? He lost his job from that. I want to say something like that, but I agree with that.
I thought you were talking about the other guy who's
the Derek Jeter guy.
Suing Derek Jeter for what was? Did you guys see that?
No. What was that?
He was suing Derek Jeter for ruining his career.
Oh no.
He was a failed prospect. Garrison Lassiter is his name. He was a failed prospect shortstop for the Yankees, and he thinks that the Yankees intentionally kept him down in the minors because they wanted Derek Jeter to be the guy. Not because of Derek Jeter's being nasty and being biracial angel that he is, but he just sued them for – it was funny the amount, too, because he sued them for like $23 million because that's how much his player comp makes, which is Corey Seager.
Oh my God!
And I think he also sued the NFL for his failed career and the NBA for his failed career. Guys are not bad.
People are fucking crazy. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, definitely crazy. But in terms of the people that are affected by the Astros cheating, I mean, we talked about Judge. Judge lost money in arbitration because of it too.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that. But he only made $8 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if he had an MVP on his resume, they'd get like an extra I don't know how much, but like an extra 5 or 6. He's gonna get money. He's gonna get paid down the road anyway. But
right,
just another ripple effect.
Yeah, he's still fucking Aaron Judge though, and he's still.
He has someone's jersey hanging out in their room right now. He's obviously that big of a guy looking at Luke's room right now. Yeah.
That guy right there. Yeah.
But kind of shift from that to our next question here. We kind of were looking at some of you guys' content as of late, and the roll call stuff I actually really like. It's nice and it's short. Kind of gives a good synopsis and everything. What is your favorite ones you've done so far, and which ones are you guys looking forward to doing?
Yeah, so we've done a bunch so far. We just backlogged them all, just waiting to release them because there's nothing else to do. So we thought it'd be fun to just go through each player, just talk about like the narratives of them, like just not even stat related, something that's stat related too, but just like funny shit. Like for Gio's episode, we talked about how that one time where he hit a foul ball off his leg, broke it, basically fell down, got back up, hit another foul ball off the other leg, and just like funny moments like that. And honestly, the fun ones to do they're all fun, but the fun ones to do are the more controversial ones. Like when we talk about Glaber, I mean, I can only talk about him for so long being amazing. Like I'm not gonna say anything bad about Glaber. When I'm doing it with Damin, like there's not gonna be any back and forth. We're just gonna be agreeing on everything. So, I mean, in terms of the fun ones, like Hicks was a fun one we just did because, I mean, Hicks is honestly one of my favorite players on the team. Him and Glaber, but
For sure.
I mean, just players like that, players like the Talkmans and like the ones that are like
Talkman was a fun one because Talkman, like, I hate to say this, but the progression of us liking him went from here to here throughout the entire episode because we started looking up stats and like I mean I like Mike Talkman, but I think he's been overrated for a long time because he had a couple games that were he had 1 month that
That's fair. That's fair.
he had 1 month where he hit over 400. I'm saying
he's been overrated for a long time. He played 1 year.
Yeah, he was overrated the entire second half of the season.
He was like AL player of the week or the month or something.
Because it was that 1 month. Then afterwards,
NL guy was like Arenado or Bellinger or something, and it was so funny seeing their pictures next to each other. It was like Hawkman and him. I was like, what are they do? Like they do not deserve to be.
And
but,
not taking anything away from him.
The best Mike
for sure
in baseball.
It was like I remember that. That's funny.
He had the most defensive runs saved in that month or something.
Yes.
And, I mean that he is good at. Like so that's not even just a fluke. Like maybe the hitting could have been a fluke, but he's definitely an athlete. So like the defensive runs saved stats, those are real.
Oh, for sure.
And again, not taking anything away from him. It was funny how that episode progressed from us saying, "Oh, we love Talkman," to wait, actually, and then
that's because we did the episode with JJ from Bronx Pinstripes, and he had this theory as to why we like certain players. Because at the beginning of the episode, we said we like Mike Talkman, we like Tyler Wade, stuff like that, and he had this theory that we think we like them a lot more because us younger cats out there, we think we can have a beer with them, so that we in turn kind of psychologically like attach ourselves to them more. I mean, it kind of makes a little bit of sense. You
just called us cats, so my fellow statement from earlier.
Yeah, I was gonna say which balance is
off.
So I think you're good.
Negated. It's negated.
I don't know. I might start saying that. I like it. Young cats.
Yeah, cats are kind of cool.
Yeah,
I get that.
But
no,
anyway,
I think I kind of agree with them because like I also feel with the younger guys like on the ropes, kind of you like that underdog story and just to kind of see them do well too. Because like we're obviously gonna like our judges, we're gonna like our Coles, we're gonna like the guys that are well established in the league, but you kind of want to root for these younger coming up guys that have been around. I'm a huge Mike Ford fan. I love seeing him. I mean, is he the best? No, but like I just love seeing him like being that Princeton guy. I think that's funny. Like when they do that kind of stuff. But
like when he pitches.
Sorry.
Like
when he pitches.
Oh hell no.
He looked good. He was throwing lollipops out there.
I don't know, but I mean, it's just kind of cool to see these younger guys come up and kind of battling against staying in the majors, not staying. But I
think it's because Ford had that one walk off. He just fell in love, right?
Yeah, I did.
So I have a question for you. I have another question for you about Mike Ford. So we talked about this on our roll call. What are you saying G's for?
What's that?
Damin said G's. Get out of here, Damin.
I did not say that. Fuck off. I didn't say that.
Anyway, so with you like Ford a lot, do you think he can take Voigt's job? I agree with Tommy.
No. I mean, I think Voigt he's like in a weird way he's like an inconsistent kind of player, but I just love him as a person, and also like when he hits well, he's amazing. He like you saw what he did in 2018. You saw the kind of player he was towards that end of the stretch. And I think the Yankees are keeping him because they know that's their guy, and Ford's more of like his backup. So I think it's Voigt over Ford now, but you never know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I think with a lot of players like that, people tend to fall in love with them way too quick. like Talkman had like what 2 big hits or something against the Red Sox, and everybody's
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
God. And then like Ford has that one walk off, and everybody's like, oh my God, like the guy's slow as shit. He's
Voigt's
a good
another
hitter.
guy.
He's a good hitter, but I mean, I love him, but like I'm just being real here.
Yeah,
He's a
Mike
good
Ford's
hitter.
another guy that I got shit on for talking down to him too, because I said I think he did well a couple times, hit home runs, attracted a bunch of people, and
Yep.
he's a below average player. I don't know. And
I mean, you see when he came up, everyone knew about him. He was in like 500 in the minors. He was like the Babe Ruth of the minors. But
same with Mike Ford. Mike Ford's too
That's what I'm
good for the
talking about.
minors.
I'm talking about Mike
I was talking about Voigt.
No, not Voigt. Voigt didn't really do the minors for us, but when he came in, he didn't really hit anything. He couldn't hit the broadside of the barn, and then he ended up getting a little hot towards the end. But I have this thing with players that it's called. I haven't named it. It's to be named later, but it's like my.
We could decide it here.
Yeah. So if you guys help me decide a name for it, that'd be great. But so I have this like confidence test sort of that like when a player's up at bat, regardless of stats, I don't give a shit if you're batting 300. Which for the most part, this applies most to Voigt because sometimes he was batting like 290. And the confidence test for me is like, can I picture you getting a hit in any situation? Like when you're up right now, do I have a feeling like you're going to get hit or not? And I don't think he does. See, guys like Andujar have that. He passes my test. I don't know.
LeMahieu.
You name it yet. Yeah, LeMahieu. It's like like my personal confidence that you're going to come through.
Why don't we call it the Rella test?
We could call it the Rella test.
Raise it up to you.
I'm not giving you credit for that.
Oh wait, no. I was thinking more along the lines of like you guys watch How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
I have not, no.
I did it a while ago, but yeah.
Like the Vicky Mendoza diagonal.
Yeah, it's the crazy hot scale.
The crazy
right?
hot scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll call it something like that. To be named later.
Like a clutch meter in a way. Like a clutch meter.
It's like the
Yeah,
actually good and the eye test good. It's like
it's not even like clutch meter because it's just any situation. Like even like no one on first inning. Like
yeah, true.
Do I have a feeling that you're gonna get on? Like that's it. And Voigt, I just always feel like, and I think I know why with Voigt, I don't think he's gonna get a hit because he has those strikeouts more often than not where he goes like this and he'll just go. And
it was like Encarnacion
down the dick
last year.
It's literally down the dick, and he just like does the butt scoot, and I don't know what he's looking at, but
it was literally all of last season. I knew Encarnacion. Whenever he came up, he was never gonna get a hit. I was like,
some people
just not clutch. But
Yankees fans fall in love with the long ball. That's
I know, and that's our death. It's I'm a Syracuse basketball fan, and it's the same thing. Like they live and die by the 3-pointer. Like it's those things that you fall in love with. That pay. It's a high risk, high reward.
Yeah,
so,
it's like when you go to the games, it's every ball hitting the air. Everyone's like,
oh yeah, for sure.
And then it's like to the first baseman. And
yeah, right.
See, we were talking about an interesting thing yesterday. We were talking about one of these episodes. Dan Rourke actually brought up, I guess, if you guys know who Dan Rourke is, but he was saying how if the Yankees aren't obviously going to play in Yankee Stadium this year, home runs might be affected because we won't have the short porch if we're playing in a neutral site like Arizona or something. But that's just an interesting thing. Obviously, we still have the power, but
yeah. Tommy, you have something about that?
What, the power or the?
Yeah. You're kind of.
I was gonna talk about your confidence meter because I definitely agree with that.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think a big disparity I have is Judge and Giancarlo. Being Judge high on that confidence meter, then Giancarlo, I feel like, is going to strike out on a slider every single time.
The low
Although I feel like, Judge, the thing with Judge, too, is that even if when he strikes out, it's always like a 3-2 count. Anyways, he works the count and does all that stuff. But I don't know, maybe because he's like 6'7", that helps too. But
Going back to the Arizona question, though, I think for sure, like, the Yankees will be affected by that. But then also part of me thinks that, like, they're used to – they pimp balls out when they do. Like, when it's a homer. But I don't think they're going to be too affected by it. But I think that's a good point to make because for a lot of the left-handed switch hitters, like, they are kind of relying on that short porch. But we'll see. I think they should be okay in Arizona. So we'll see.
I mean, they still have power. Don't get me wrong. It's just
for sure.
And it's honestly maybe a little bit exaggerated because we don't really have that many lefties anyway. So the short porch doesn't really help us so much. I mean,
Right.
left field's also kind of short, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, for sure. I agree.
The one home run I remember from last year was when but he hit the one that went just foul, and then obviously he hit the one like right after that, and it was like
Yeah, I remember that.
a lot of those home runs we're gonna miss. And, like,
Yeah.
the
No,
That's when
line
that's when they
drive
asked him. They asked him like, was it Meredith Maragovitz after the game? Like, hey, so you put one in the right field seats this time. How do you feel about getting that monkey off your back? He's like, why does it matter?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I
It's a
love that.
home run. It still counts as a run.
I love Judge. That's the thing. Like, just his charisma and like off the field, like the way he speaks to people, like that's what makes him, in my mind, possibly the next captain. Like I think he has that potential. Definitely. I don't know how many years it'll take. We weren't around when Jeter was named captain. Obviously,
Right.
it's just, I don't know. It's interesting to see him progress as being this. Like he just has that vibe around him. So I think he could.
Yeah.
You ever realize too that when he's in an interview, he always pauses, like has that weird pause after the question's asked. He like thinks about what he's gonna say, then he finally says it. He just doesn't say stuff like just straight to his head.
He's really calculated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean,
that's what you need.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they obviously see a long term in him. They have the judges' chambers in right field for him. Every fan loves
Sat
him.
there this past year, by the way.
Who can hate Judge? But kind of just wrapping it up. We know you guys are busy. For those listening, they have Yankees. Well, we know you guys have your Yankees Power Hour coming up. But
yeah, 7. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the end, we kind of just wanted to ask you guys, what is your favorite part about podcasting? Like, why do you guys like to do this consistently and it's fun about it?
Well, right now, there's nothing else to fucking do. So if we didn't like it before, I mean, why not continue? But
Exactly.
I definitely have a lot of fun with it because, I mean, just something different about talking to your buddies. And, well, you can still talk to you. You're talking to your buddies, but then you have other people listening too. So, I don't know. It's a lot more fun when you're talking in a big group. Like, everybody else can interact with you. That's the most fun part. Like what we're doing right now with you guys. It's just a fun. I mean, you meet new people. I think that's the most fun part about it. We've met so many people, including you guys now. Now, when we see you guys at a game, we'll obviously we'll have some fucking beers together at Billy's.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the most fun part about this is just meeting so many people who are like-minded that are like. That's why all of these conversations we've had with other people have gone obviously well because we're the same fucking person. So that's a really fun thing that I've noticed when I did it.
Yeah. I think, I mean, everything that you just said for sure. I think for me too, I think I also have a full-time job that I work every day. So I'm a kind of crazy person where I have 11 different things going on. So it's a nice little extra thing that I love to do. And if you love to do it, why not just keep doing it and build it up until you can make this your full-time job.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Agree.
And this has been a great interview with you guys. It was so nice meeting you and so nice talking to you.
Hey, you too.
Closing off from Big Picture Sports Group on the Upstate Sports Corner, I am Jack, that's Tommy, and our guest Luke and Damin. So thank you guys so much again for being on, and again, really fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully
likewise.
we get sports anytime soon. We can catch you guys at Billy's or
exactly.
You go.
Yeah, we'll hit you guys up on Twitter when that happens. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Look forward to it.
It's nice meeting you guys. Thank you.
Sounds good.
All right. See ya.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.